Hi guys, Mr. Dean here, and I just wanted to make this video and have a talk with you about the project that you just completed for my class. And as you can see on the background here, I have that project. And in the project, you had to answer some questions about a story that you read called Seventh Grade. Now here's the story. It's by Gary Soto about a kid called Victor at school on his first day of seventh grade. And let's see, we've got some questions. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 questions we have to answer about Victor in his first day of school. Now, before we answer these questions, we should think about what is Mr. Dean going to be asking you. Oh, good grief, all these things poking up. What is Mr. Dean going to be asking you, or how is he going to be grading the answers to your questions? Is he looking just at the answers, or is he looking for something more? And one of the clues you can always use to see what the teacher wants from you is to look at this, the rubric. These are the things that I'm going to be looking for when I'm grading your work, okay? So as a student, one of the tricks you can do is to take these things, these are the criteria or the standards that I'm going to be using. You take them and you copy them and you paste them, paste them into another document, okay? Let's paste them into this document here. I'm going to insert a table like this, and I'm going to insert the standards right there. The reason I did this is because when I'm creating the answers to these questions, yes, I have to answer the question, but I have to answer them while still making sure I'm doing all the jobs that the teacher wants me to do, okay? So for example, the very first one here says cite several pieces of textual evidence. What is textual evidence? Well, what that is, those are the words that are in the story. And it says I have to cite them. What does it mean to cite something? I'm going to blow that up in size so we can maybe make it easier to read and easier to see. When I ask you to cite something, I'm asking you to connect it. So I want you to connect the answer to the question and connect it to actual words from the story, okay? So for example, question 1. How are we changed by love? Is it a good or bad thing to lie for love? Well, we should go back here and we have to connect those two ideas together, the idea of the question to the idea of the story. Where in the story did someone lie for love? And one of the examples that all of you found was way down here where Victor does something really silly in his French class. He tries to pretend that he already knows how to speak French. So when I'm creating the answer for this question, and I'm going to create over here in this little note box for myself, I should put a bullet point that in the story, Victor pretends he can speak French. Why does Victor do that? Victor does this to impress his crush, who is a girl named Teresa. Okay, now I go back to the story. What I should do is find some actual words in the story that reflect this, okay? Let's see, where does he start faking it? Let's see. Mr. Bueller asked if anyone knew French. Victor raised his hand, wanting to impress Teresa. Like it says it right there. He's doing it to impress Teresa. So I should take this, copy it, go back here, and actually insert those words. Ooh, I'll do that again because it looks ugly. There, I'll do it paste without formatting. There we go. And I'll put it in quotation marks because I didn't write these words. These words come directly from Gary Soto, the guy who wrote the book. So I have to say, Mr. Bueller. So here's an example, okay? So when I'm answering my questions, I look back to what it is that Mr. Dean is looking for, and I make sure that I'm doing that, okay? That I make sure I have my ideas over here, that I'm doing what Mr. Dean is asking for. I'm answering the question, but I'm answering it the way Mr. Dean wants me to answer it, okay? So what I've just shown you is a simple way that you can create a tool for yourself like this table, where you've got the ideas from the rubric. And I gave you the rubric. Here's the rubric where you just copied and pasted these things that I'm going to be looking for, and you put them over here in this chart, and then you start adding in the details that are going to answer those questions and do the things that I asked for you. Does this make sense to you? I hope so. This is a quick and easy way for you to make sure that you're doing the questions and doing them the way that I want you to do them. Okay? All right, if you have any questions about this, let me know. I hope this video is helpful.